This is part 2 of section 3.3. We are writing equations of lines in standard form that meet these conditions. Okay, so we want to find the equation of a line that passes through the point 7, -2. That's going to be my x1 and my y1. And I want my slope to be 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to use the point slope formula. Y minus y1, so minus a -2, is equal to the slope, which is 1/4, times x minus x1, which is 7. Okay, so this is simplifying this double negative here. Y plus 2 is equal to 1/4 times x minus 7. Now we're going to standard form, so we don't want this fraction. So just like we did on the previous one, I'm going to multiply this by that denominator, which is a 4, and I multiply this by a 4 as well. So I'm multiplying both sides by 4. It's just we have 3 things multiplied together here. Well, what happens is the fraction should go away here. Technically, I'm going to be distributing a 1 through here, but we know that that doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So let's go ahead and distribute the 4 to get 4y plus 8 equals, I have that 1 left, technically distributing it, but it gives me x minus 7. Okay, so now I just need to rearrange things so that they're in the correct form. I got rid of the fractions, which is great. I need my x to be first, so I'm going to subtract x here. So negative x plus 4y plus 8 is equal to -7. I want my constants on the other side, so I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides to get negative x plus 4y is equal to -15. I have it in the right order. I don't have fractions. My first number is not positive, but that's an easy fix. Is it reduced? Yeah, there's nothing that divides evenly into a 1, ignoring the signs, a 1, 4, and a 15. To change that sign, I'm going to multiply everything by a -1. Basically, you change every sign in the entire equation, and you have your answer in standard form. Okay, so let's try. I want to find the equation of the line that passes through the point -2, 8 that has slope of 0. Now, make a connection here. What kind of line has a slope of 0? A horizontal line. Okay, so I know this equation I'm going to be coming up with will be a horizontal line for sure. We're supposed to go into standard form if we can. So let's plug into the point slope formula. Y minus y1, which is 8, is equal to our slope times x minus x1, which is -2. Now in the past, what I would have done is change this to x plus 2, but I'm multiplying that by 0. So it doesn't even matter what's in here. If I multiply it by 0, that all cancels out and I just have a 0. Y minus 8 equals 0. So I don't have an x anymore. That means I'm not going to be able to go into true standard form. They still want you to get your variable alone if you can. Okay, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides, and you get y is equal to 8. Okay, here's a connection. All horizontal lines have the form y equals b, and b is that number right there. Y equals whatever y equals. Okay, so horizontal line is y equals a number. Okay, let's look at this one. And this would be your answer, by the way. Okay, I want the line that passes through the point 5/8, 2/9 with undefined slope. What kind of line has an undefined slope? A vertical line. Now, unfortunately, we cannot plug in undefined. So this is something we must remember. Vertical lines have the form x equals a number. Usually it's going to be the x-intercept. But the way you write your equation is always x equals whatever x equaled. So x equals 5/8 would be an equation of a vertical line. Okay. Now, we need a slope to write these equations, but sometimes we're not going to be given the slope. If you aren't given the slope, you're going to be given enough information to find the slope. And the ways we know how to find the slope is we can rearrange things so that they're in y equals mx plus b form. If we're given a couple of points, then we can use the slope formula. If we are told that they are parallel or perpendicular, we know things about their slopes as well. Okay? So let's find the equation of the point of the line that passes through these 2 points. And we want to write our answer in slope-intercept form. So that's y equals mx plus b form. Okay? Now, often, one thing you should know is because slopes are often fractions, when you go into this form, you're often going to have fractions. You can't really get rid of them. They're just going to pop back. If you kill them and you're trying to go into this format, they're just going to keep coming back like zombies. So the first thing we need to write an equation is we need a point. We've got 2 of them. We have more than we need. And we need a slope, which we don't have. Or it's not given to us. But we have 2 points, and we have the slope formula, so we can do it. Our slope is going to be y2 minus y1, 4 minus 2, over x2 minus x1, minus 3, minus 1. Remember, whatever point you start with on the top, that's the one you have to start with on the bottom. 4 minus 2 is 2. Negative 3 minus 1 would be negative 4. So this slope is negative 1/2. Remember, with a fraction, the negative can be off to the side, in the bottom, or in the top, and it's all the same thing. Okay, so now we have a slope to use. We need to use a point to come up with the equation. Now you might be wondering, how do you know which point to use? It does not matter. You should get exactly the same answer no matter what. So pick the point that looks friendlier to you. And I like this one because the numbers are smaller and they're both positive, which makes it easier for me. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. And I've got my slope, and I know what points the x1 and the y1 I'm going to use. So y minus y1, which is 2, is equal to the slope, which is negative 1/2, times x minus x1, which is 1. Okay. Like I was saying earlier, you can kill the fraction here like we were doing on the standard form problems. You're going to end up having to divide by it. In the end, you're going to have fractions come back. It works, and it's up to you. But for me, whenever it's pretty easy and I have a calculator that does fractions, I just deal with them. If I distribute here, that's easy multiplication. Y minus 2 is equal to negative 1/2 times x is negative 1/2 x. Negative 1/2 times negative 1 is going to be positive 1/2. Okay. Now I just need the y alone, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And here, if I take 2 and then I add 1/2, it gives our answer as 5/2. So this is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5/2. That should be your answer. This is pretty easy to check. Well, I should back up. This is easy to check that you haven't made a big mistake. It will not tell you that you're in the correct format. But your slope should be your slope. Okay? And I should also be able to plug in 1 for x, 2 for y, and have it check out. And also, negative 3 for x and 4 for y, and have it check out. I think I may have said that one backwards, but you know what I mean. Either way, that's our answer.